line. Hey, the radio, big crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, the time has come here at Bristol Dirt Track here in Bristol Motor Speedway in Bristol, Tennessee, where we're about to witness the final race of the Season 5 Championship runnings for the PTM Dirt Series. As the Dirt Stocks take to the show, there is a season title on the line and 11 drivers looking to play claim to that championship here tonight. Hi again, everyone. I'm Christian the Crusader Driver here, and welcome back to the show as always. As we're getting ready for the action here to pop up on your screen, we're going to look at our field of drivers here right now. We'll start them up on heat number 1, though. We're going to go at it here on the pole. David Trumbull Jr. in the 28 will lead him off, with the outside of him being the number 9, AJ Hall. And the final starter C in row number 2, Matthew Hoffer in the 84. It is outside Joshua Godinez in the 74. Who is one of the few drivers hunting for the championship here tonight. We'll talk about the others as we go along with the show. The final round here, this is round 6 of 6. These drivers have come from far and out, far and away, all across the states, across the countries, from Canada and the U.S. They have been fighting, scratching, clawing to get to this moment. Some going for a higher position in the top 5, some trying to get that win, as we mentioned earlier on. A lot of these guys, though, are out to secure major victories and major spots in this one. Matthew Hofford also looking to try to get a top 5 claim and try to get one last little position in to win some cold hard cash and a little bit of some prizes in between as they ring him off out of turn 4, looking for that green flag to pop on out. The green flag flies on out. We are underway for heat number 1. They'll start him off right out of the gate here. Problems for David Trumbull. They're going into turn 2 already. Goes a little bit too hard on the throttle. Gets a little bit of a little kickback on his end. Sends him straight to the wall. Gets out of the way. Matthew Hofford straight to the bottom. Looking for a run there on AJ Hall. As AJ goes to the outside. Looking to kick some dirt and build some speed. Hard mounting a charge here. Puts the rear end up side by side there with AJ Hall. Both drivers coming out clean. Neither one getting a mistake. Here comes Joshua Godinez though in the 74. The Goodyear 6-pack, number 74, on a tear on a rail already. Looking for a pass in the inside zone. 3 wide saloon there. Matthew Hofford not able to hold his line in. Here comes Godinez in the middle. The meat of the sandwich playing into the slick terrain, but it's making it stick and making it work while AJ Hall tries desperately to get out of that stuff on the outside. The top shelf not looking too good right now. Godinez with the pass in the middle, gets over for the race lead. Now he takes the full advantage of this one. Matthew Hofford and AJ Hall will now go to war with one another as they fight it out. Hard charging from our drivers earlier on. These guys definitely putting on a bit of a battle, putting on a bit of a run or two. It's going to be interesting to see how this one shapes in and shapes out, because again, the way this field works, the way this rack runs in, you gotta remember, Godinez is out to win a championship, and he's gonna probably drive in harder than he's ever has before in his life to win the title tonight. He must beat out Eric G. Gann in the top position, must win there, and then he also has to make sure he wins the race to get the extra bonus points, to get that extra bonus point there that comes from the 20 points they're gaining here from tonight. It's pretty simple. 1st through 10 gets the points, kind of works its way from there, and everything else kind of works out from that spot. And the way this season's played out, we could result in a quick little battle and a big finish here. As I come down the front straightaway here, final 2 laps now up on your screen. Green flag flies high in the air while Matthew Hopper and AJ Hall still duking it out a little bit here. AJ looking for one last little run around, looking for a little bit of a push or two to coming off those corners. He's charging quick, and he likes to throw it in there pretty well. And as of late, he's definitely been impressing me with how well he's been handling those nerves and handling those tracks out there. Certainly could be a contender for later on in the seasons to come. He has said he has already got interest about running again. Well, hopefully he will join us as the white flag comes out one more time. We're going straight to the bottom with Hofford looking for the run. Godinez going to try to work him off the middle end. Spectrum coming off turn 3 and 4. Side by side to the finish, but Godinez by half a car length will get Hofford by just barely inches. What a race and good finish there by the drivers. Hard driving from everybody there coming to the end and coming to the line. Good stuff to start off our stay here. Well, heat number 1's results are now popping up on your screen. The PTM Racing TV's heat 1 results now popping up here. Godinez wins this one. Second going to Hopper. Third to AJ Hall. And then fourth to David Trumbull Jr. David's going to have to try to get those car problems figured out. And hopefully bring her back stronger than ever in the A main. Now on to heat number 2, race fans. We're going off the start. Here we go. On the pole, the 5, Chantel Bottle and her outside. The 00, the reigning defending champion in the 00, that's Derek Pope. And then your final starters see the 19 and the Superman Autism Awareness Speaks. Number 19 of Aaron Clark is outside. The only other driver that can win the championship here tonight, if he can do so, Eric G. Gann, the 51 MR Customs. Pope knows a thing or two about winning that championship. He did that last season in an all-out battle and shootout, having to win a couple races and taking up some serious names and some mantles there, putting up a fight. Chantel Bottle, as of late, definitely probably in her better season, if you will, having to work off of the troubles and the added pressure that is amongst her. But if there's one driver right now that I gotta believe is going to be really nervous, that's Eric G. Gann, that 51. He is going to have to be very consistent and strong on these runs and on this battle here. He's got a lot of work to do, but he has got a race victory in. Remember, he got his very first career win back on PTM Racing TV with the PTM Dirt Series back at Cedar Lake Speedway, and that colossal, chaotic finish. I really don't know. It's like, oh, you guys go back and watch that if you want. It was just absolute madness what had happened that night and what had happened in that race. But I think ever since then, these drivers have matured and they've really figured out how to get better each time out on the track, and I can definitely say they're going to be trying to use that knowledge to full effect, as they're going to have to work it off of this long track, this half a mile long size, fast-paced, action-packed track of Bristol Motor Speedway. As we go off back to the green flag, we're back underway. Right out of the inside, a little bit of problems there between the 5 and the 51. Eric G. Gann getting a little bit in there. Chantel Bottle spinning herself out though in turn 3. Gets into the slick and into the ruts. Couldn't get out of it quick enough. And that opens the door up for Eric Gann. Now he is charging. He's coming in fast. The 51 MR Customs machine fighting it out there with the 00 Derek Pope. Pope trying to hold him on the outside. But it appears the bottom line is the way to go around this place. Pope trying to go straight down. He misses the crossover though. He messes up completely. It opens the door up for Gann to now take full advantage. Major opening there for Eric Gann. You got to wonder if maybe that was not what he necessarily had in mind to do to block off Pope, but Pope kind of did that one to himself coming off that turn 4. He just could not get it straightened out in time and ended up going too far down to the bottom. As we go on board with Aaron Clark and then number 19. No, don't clean your television screens. No, it's the 1880s. That is dirt you see on his windshield, or I should say it's tear-offs, I should say. What do we have any windshields in these dirt stocks? They're not allowed to have them. The onboard camera right now for Derek Pope is to see that 00 Dryden machine firing off, firing hard. Trying to get up there with Eric G. Gann there, and hopefully I did not hypnotize you with those tires on there. Those things can get a little crazy to figure out how not to get hypnotized by them sometimes. Gann absolutely tearing it up out there, putting on a solid performance so far. Got about a 0.3 of a second lead here on Pope, but Pope is not giving up just yet. Clark doing much of the same, looking to try to get a little bit of a ground clearance in there. Coming off the corners, off the banks here. This track absolutely hard to master and hard to get fast at when you have a group of guys that are willing to push you around and put a fight up. But remember, these are not your typical kind of guys and gals. They like to race clean. They like to race hard, but they will not push you too much. They will only push you when the time is necessary. They're very clean and very patient on that limit, and they know what they need to do as the white flag comes out. Pope was extremely calm, cool, and collective after that little issue. Now he's going to get up right there with Can. Can Yan hold him off? Coming down that back straightaway. He's going to go down low. Here it comes. Straight to the bottom end. Pope looking to run it down. The Hoosier tried in 0-0. Not able to hold him off. Gan will get ahead just enough to win this one. Aaron Clark with the last minute chance of a pass. Did not quite stick. Putting up a strong fight and showing there, but he'll end up third as Chantel Bottle crosses for fourth. Early troubles there for the throttle Pottle. Hopefully she can get that dial back in and recenter off. Interesting start to our day here so far as we get heat number 2's results now from the PTM Racing TV screen. Eric G. Gann getting this one. Second goes to Derek Pope. Third, Aaron Clark. And then Chantel the Throttle Pottle fourth on this one. All right, race fans, here we go. The final heat of the night, and then it's a main event. I'm coming your way with the season championship at stake. On our pole, the 14, the Crusader Shriver, and his outside, that'll be the 65, Cody Scott. Your final starter sees Brian Stang, the almost winning driver here on the show, in the number 2 out of this season, that is. Stang been an absolute tear-off, man. He's been fighting hard, but I'll tell you one thing right now. There's one thing he hasn't done yet is win here at Bristol Dirt. Can he get that done here tonight and be the spoiler to some of these drivers? While that 65 of Cody Scott, he knows a thing or two about playing spoiler. Who could forget last season, the last lap pass in a turn 4, the slider thrown, initiated, and literally gets ahead there of the 5 Chantel Bottle, winning that one. But the Crusader Shriver in that 14, he's out for a little bit of vengeance and out for a little blood. He wants to try to get a race win in this season. Yet once again winless, having so many problems out there. Hopefully he can finally get this one dialed in, but they're going to get him set off the corners. 3 cars in this one, and then it's a main event time, race fans. Who is going to be the one that plays host to being the driver to beat? Who will be the one that comes out on top? And remember, top 5 honors are on the line. Again, Cody Scott is part of that ordeal. We know Brian Stang is very much a part of that as well. So a win for Stang, honestly, would be a big clip note on his season and a little bit of a check mark to end it all out. As they bring him around down that front straightaway, they'll charge him off to the green flag. Here we go. Out of the gate, Stang going straight to the bottom, trying to make a move off. Cody Scott going outside, looking high. The 14-inch driver going to stay to the bottom. They'll kind of work his way down. Scott with the advantage there, going out of the back straightaway as they lead him into turn 3 and 4. You can see the drivers just trying to keep him nice and straight, not letting him turn in too much. The track is burnt up a slight bit, so it is affecting him just a hair or two. Brian Stang now back up. They close corner him off just a little bit more as you see Cody Scott firing on the outside, looking to try to get an opening from the 14. So far, so good. Everything looking pretty good. Scott opens the door up. Stang makes a move on the inside. Outside looking in. Now takes it over. Scott's going to have a lot of time to have to get that one back. He's going to have to get that draft line in from Stang and hope for the best. The Daredevil Rockstar Energy number 2, Brian Stang now putting the front bumper to good use on that rear end of the 14. Driver trying to hold him down, trying to keep the Fox Racing Machine up ahead of him. You can see him doing completely a different strategy compared to everybody else tonight. They really were rocking the middle and the outside. He's going straight to the bottom and keeping it there. He said that's the only way he knows how to run Bristol Dirt. That's the only way he will do it if he can for the longest time. Well, there's still a little bit of tack down there, so it needs to be working. Stang now, coming up fast, coming up hard, man. He's coming in quick and trying to make a few maneuvers off. Cody Scott falling back a little bit. Got about 0.6 of a second back now of both drivers. Scott right now, I probably think, which is probably maybe saving himself up for the A main. He doesn't want to try to damage too much here in this Heat 3 parter. But the war is definitely going down there up front right now as Stang and Shriver continue to go to war with another battling it hard. We saw this back at Cedar Lake Speedway. It was there, though, unfortunately, a little mishap in the slider. Shriver threw it in just a little too hard and ended up getting Stang out of the ballpark. Stang would recover though and get a good finish. Shriver, not so much. Car was too damaged in to get that out. Stang seems like he's getting a good run there off those exits and just could not get the speed built in, but the Metal Militia machine is not done yet. It is firing on all cylinders, looking for any kind of opening as we wind down to the white flag now on out. You can just see how much of this track is burnt and how much is gone. It's going to look even worse when those A main guys get out here. They'll clean the track up and get a little track prep set up, but right out of turn 3 into 4, Shriver with a little block and defense to hold him off, and he'll win it in heat number 3. Staying second, third to Cody Scott. So now it will be time for your A main event in just a minute. Take a look at our heat 3 results now popping up on your screen. And there you see, Shriver wins this one, second going to Brian Stang, third to Cody Scott, rounding out your field. We're getting ready for the A main event coming your way now onto the show. Race fans, this is what it's all about. This is going to be the big kicker. Which one of these drivers will be able to outwit, outperform, and outmaneuver the other here? This is going to be a big, big battle coming up your way here as we're about to take that screen off here and get ready for this one here now. Here we go. Stream is refreshed. Cars are ready. The motors are cooking, and they're feeling pretty fast out there. This is it. You're going to go for broke. They're going to go for the big picture here tonight. We'll see who can win this one out as we get them down. Here we go onto the pole. Eric G. Gann. We'll start him off on the outside to his inside. Joshua Godinez in the 74. Row number 2. It's going to be Crusader Shriver in the 14 is outside. 84, Matthew Hoffer. Row number 3, it's Derek Pope in the 00 to his outside. Brian Stang in the number 2. Row number 4, it's AJ Hall in the number 9 to his outside. The 19 of Aaron Clark. Row 5, Cody Scott, the 65 to his outside. David Trimble Jr. in the 28. And then the 5, a Chantel Bottle rounding out the outfield. Here we go, race fans. The drums click, the drums beat. The fastest of Pedal to the Metal Racing League are now here to present to you the season championship, the final race of the season. Who is coming away with the W and the season title? They will march them off out of turn 4 this time by looking for the green flag to pop on out. Here we go. 11 car field. We're going for broke. We're going it big, and we're going to go for it all here as we go right out of the gate here onto the outside. It is Guerin with the immediate advantage. Godinez on the middle strip and the inside looking to make a move off. Hoffer looking to try to get some run on the outside too. Looks like he's got a nice position in. The Crusader Shriver already trying to mount a fight immediately out of the gate. As they lead them off down around the corners here, everyone doing their can to try to hold off, trying to stabilize them down. Field works them in. It is a charge and a half. Everybody looking for broke, looking to go big. The 14 on the inside now looking to make a move off with Hoffer. Hoffer trying to keep the outside line working well. Problems down there though. A little trouble for the 5. And the caution to Bruce. Caution's out. Caution is out. Problems down there for our drivers. We'll see what happens here. We'll see what came down and transpired there on the replay. Looks like they were coming out of turn 3 and 4. Looks like maybe you'll see Cody Scott in the 65 kind of back off a little bit here. 5 slingshots straight down to the bottom here. Gets into the bump zone. Ooh, and the 00 tags are in and slows down the whole field and gets them reset and regained into position. So that will recenter our drivers off, and hopefully we'll get this one fielded back into a restart zone. Looks like we are double filing up just for that. Field will work their way around one more time by. Pace truck lights are off, so now we're going to get this one back up and running. It's going to be interesting to see how they handle the nerves and how well they handle themselves here after that. field, works their way in now, firing down on the cylinders to the speeds we go here. Back to the green flag, Eric G. Gann gets a good start there. Godinez on the outside. He's going to have to try to work in quickly. Remember, he needs to beat Gann to win the championship. Crusader Shriver already rocking the inside. I guess he wants to play spoiler here tonight. He's firing at all cylinders. Brian Stang in the 2 and Derek Pope in the 00, both right there with him. You got a 4-car pack looking to get that race lead. Godinez looking to stay just above the slick. You can see though Stang and Shriver doing much this difference. They want to go to the bottom and keep it there. Clean racing off the gate here. Derek Pope going side by side with Matthew Hufford as they fire him on down. Each driver playing to their strengths, playing to their weaknesses, and right now Gann has got company coming his way. The old white and blue, black and gold, that is Fox Racing number 14 coming up fast. Inside line fire, side by side, looking for the race lead. Hard mounts the charts, fires it down, but how much of those tires is he burning in on that bottom? Remember, once the rubber goes, it goes on that bottom. You don't have any speed then. He doesn't seem to care. He just wants to finally get one off his back and get this one finally down in. Crossover down out of turn 2. He will push it right up and take over the race lead. Now it is Stang's turn to go to the inside. Gann falling back even more into the field. Stang extremely conservative right now, trying to be a little bit more under control, a little more weary of how he handles himself and the nerves here. The 5 is Chantel Bottle already making some big comebacks, a little bit of a hard move off those Gins here. Derek Pope, the 00 as well, firing it down, trying to hang in there. Get a good onboard camera here. Chantel, just see her working that car in, trying to make a move in the slick, in the runs here, firing quickly, firing it hard there. The 00 of Derek Pope trying to hold her down. Pope knows earlier on they kind of got into it, but that was really the 5's unfortunate demise there. She kind of got a little too hard in that throttle, and you just got to be careful when you hit that bottom end because it can send you for a little bit of a loop there. Rodney Christensen, great heat race from earlier on, and so far I got to believe he's probably enjoying the battle going down right now. Great to have you on board. Cody Scott and AJ Hall, both drivers, doing everything they can to kind of hang with the field and hang tough. They're definitely doing that and then some here as we look back up to the front. Brian Stang and the number 2 Metal Militia looking to try to push a little further in, a little faster on the nose. You can see the draft lines are going to be a big factor here later on. Stang straight to the inside, looking to take that lead away from Shriver. He's got him pushed up a little bit. He did not want to get into him. He rises it up now. Stang and Shriver side by side. Outside looking it in now. It is Shriver with the run. Stang trying to keep his momentum alive. Push the car up to full speed. But it looks like the 14 has a slight advantage on the back straightaway, but that doesn't mean anything when you're going into the turn. Off the run, Stang now with the race lead. The Metal Militia number 2 takes the lead away. And Eric Gann now just like that as well, just completely tearing it up out there, putting the equipment to good use. He sees opening. He's gonna be an opportunistic man and take it away when he can. Just needs a run there on that bottom line, a little bit of a shot or two. The 14 bumps into the wall. Stang got the good spot down on the bottom. You can see him still catching a little bit of that tack. He just has to stay away from those dirtles down there, or as we call them, the dirtles. We usually in road course racing call them turtles, and here we call them dirtles because, well, those things are down there and they are not friendly. Ooh, and a little bit of a bump there from Gann. I don't know if that was intentional to trying to get him going or not, but I think he knows who's behind him and why he had to do it. It's the man right behind him, Joshua Godinez, the 74. He needs to win this race and get, or at least at the most part, get ahead of Eric Gann to secure the title. It's between these 2 drivers right now as they fight it out for position and jockey around. Gann trying to hold him off there on the outside, but you can see Godinez rocking the slick, rocking the pot down there. He says, I've got some speed, I'm going to carry it through. Holding him down, trying to keep it in line. Stang opens the door up yet again for Shriver as well. You got 2 cars, you got a 4-car battle for the race lead. 2 of them battling up front, and the others just battling, just trying to get a season title. And it doesn't get any crazier than that, folks. And remember, there's top 5 drivers also battling in because here comes Chantel Bottle and the 5, Matthew Hoffer, are going to go out of here. Hoffer and her both looking to increase the season runs to get last-minute points to get to the top 5 and win their spots for the prizes. They are desperately trying to hang in there, trying to keep it going. Both drivers in a hot battle, hot stakes position. Into the round though, Gam once again firing away, looking to make a move off anytime he can, try to get something to run in the way he wants to. This field of drivers just absolutely pouring on the tech, pouring on the torque. Everybody giving it their all, giving it everything they can. 3-car battle for the race lead. Gann, Shriver, and Stang. Shriver back down the bottom in the slick. He's 6ing in, but Stang now seems to have a little bit more runoff. Shriver's not diving in nearly as much, or if he is, he's certainly getting really loose off that end. You can see the rear end just starting to rotate out just a slight bit too much, and it's starting to cost him here. Matthew Hopper right now having to deal with the added pressure of having an old friend and a rival right beside him. The 84 D's nuts, number 8 machine trying to move in, trying to kites off quickly while the green tech energy number 5 continues to fight it out. Both drivers absolutely wearing and tearing these things around the track. Neither driver giving an inch, neither one giving any chances up. Chantel back into the fight now, looking to make it away for the top 5. She's got the bottom line dialed in. Into the front once more. These guys are just still, I mean, absolutely killing each other out here. No one giving an inch. Godinez now has caught up to the leaders. You can get 3 for the price of 1 if you can find an opening, but the problem is making passes around here on these dirt stocks. You've got to be timing them just right and making sure you swing it in just as quickly as you got it. Neither driver giving an inch, neither one giving up any chances here. Gann just trying to help out Stang, get a little bit more push. It looks like Godinez might be trying to do the same. I think that run that Shriver had earlier on, Mike Steinley starting to fade off. We're running down on last 14 to go, now 13 to go, I should say. In the back of the pack, Derek Pope, AJ Hall kind of spread apart from one another. Both drivers having a great season in their own right, having a good battle all the way to the end. AJ definitely put off some good starts and some good races out there. Hopefully we'll see more of him and finally get in that victory lane. Derek Pope already with the season title. I don't think he was too worried about having to get further into that. Saw a minute ago that 19 Superman machine, Autism Awareness Speaks car. He had a good season in his own right as well, putting up a couple top 5s. Would love to see him get more in there and a little travel down as well in due time. The 14 losing all his ground, all his rhythm. He is gone. He's lost a little bit of it too much. Now it is Godinez and Gann that have to try to battle it out here while Stang just continues to run away from the field. The season title is on the line. Eric G. Gann is desperately trying to stay ahead. Joshua Godinez looking to start making some moves, making some runs here. The points separating these drivers out is literally by literally 1 point. That is how crazy this race is for these drivers and how desperate they must finish. Godinez, if he does not win, it would go to Gann on that end, because Gann has 1 win over on Godinez. So even if Godinez finishes ahead of Gann by 1, it doesn't matter. He will not have enough to win it out, because that tiebreaker is that race win. Driver going up to the high side. He had a run there earlier on the bottom, but I think now he's just realizing he's got nothing left he can do about it. Chantel, the throttle Apollo, and Matthew Hofford still at each other's throats right now as Deuce Goods, number 84, K&N Filters machine firing up there to the green stack energy. Matt Mills racing, bottles wraps, number 5 at the throttle, Chantel Bottle. Chantel just absolutely giving it everything she's got. A season she's had pretty much all over the place. Matthew Hoffert, ever since his season championship victory, season 2, he hasn't really been to victory lane as much, and he hasn't gotten as many wins as I think he would like it to. He's looking to change that now as we're closing in on the last. Brian Stang absolutely running away from the field. 6 to go for the most winning driver this season. Unfortunately, though, missing a race or 2 cost him dearly, and that ended up costing him a chance to become a champion this season. But you know one thing, he'll be back one way or another. Godinez now on the inside here, looking for the run, for the pass inside. Gann trying to hold him off now. Side by side, they battle in with 5 to go. Godinez desperately needs a shot and a kick in the arm here. He needs a little help. And needs a little help either from Crusader or he needs help from Stang. I don't think he's going to get either one of them. He needs Crusader to get ahead again, and he needs to get ahead again now. Slider thrown there again. Gann opens the door up though, making a big pass around. I gotta clarify something earlier on. Godinez again does need to get ahead, but I believe the way the point structure is, they also need to have Gann make sure they stay ahead in a certain spot, and he'll win it out either way. He's ahead of Godinez, but not by much, so that's why we're talking about how crazy this is for both these drivers, both side by side still as they fight it out down in turn 1 and 2. I don't know, I think the points race might have got me all beat out. We'll just see what happens here. I think there will be enough at the end of the day, but Gann is not giving an inch here. Godinez trying to hold him off as they come to the final 2 laps. Green flag flies high in the air. Back to the bottom, throws the slider. Gann rises up just enough to stay out of that trouble zone. Gann's ahead, and he might have a shot at taking this one over. Stryver is not ahead enough to get a speed going as a white flag pops out for the Metal Militia number 2 of Brian Stang. A season and a half for him in that young man's career. He'll definitely look at this one fondly. And if Gann can finish this one out, he certainly can look at this one a little fondly as they pace him around down the back straightaway. Leading in turn 3 and 4, Brian Stang will win one more time at Bristol Dirt. And out of turn 3 and 4, Eric Gann has won the season championship, just barely narrowing out Joshua Godinez to win his first career championship. What a race and a finish for your top 5 drivers. Unbelievable to say the least. It was a night full of excitement. It was a night full of chaoticness and hecticness everywhere you go. Stang definitely earned this one, and I think it's fair to say that a little driver in that 51 MR Customs machine, Eric G. Gann, earns the season title, coming away with the victory and the trophy. He will win the medal and all that and take it home for him. What a season, what a career it has been. What an absolute insane race it has been tonight. Here is your final results now for Season 5 as we lead in the next season coming up soon. Beware out for that one, but here is the results. Stang wins it. 2nd to Gann. 3rd to Godinez. You got 4th going to Shriver. 5th to Pottle. 6th to Hoffert. 7th to Scott. 8th to Clark. 9th to Pope. 10th to AJ Hall. And 11th to David Tremmel Jr. to round out the field. And folks, Gann wins the championship. 2nd in the points will go to Godinez. 3rd will go to Stang. 4th will go to Matthew Hoffert. And then 5th to Chantel Pottle to round out the final top 5 of the season. What a season it has been. And we couldn't do without you guys at home watching each and every time out. We thank and appreciate you for always coming out here and always watching with us. Until the green flag flies next time on PTM Racing TV for the Dirt Series, we wish you nothing but the best. And thank you for tuning in.